Revolution. I'm Dr. Nelum. I'm a GP with a passion for metabolic and lifestyle medicine in women.
And I'm Ronit. I'm a happiness coach, and I help people live in peace and happiness with their body and mind. And
we believe that that true health starts from within. True well-being starts from within. When you combine science, lifestyle, and mindset, that's when the magic happens.
Exactly. And this is our uniqueness, because we think in a holistic way. We believe that taking care of the whole person is the right thing to do. When you take care of your health, you take care of your health, your body and your mind, you will be successful. And if we're talking about this bit about you taking care of your mind, today the episode today is talking about the resistance to change.
So Ronit, I would really like your advice on this, because I've been working at my workplace for the last close to 15 years now, and I have a lot of patients who I've known for a very long time. And some of my patients who I've known, who I know have, who have a lot of medical conditions, who come to me regularly seeking assistance with managing these problems, and I will tell them the last 4 years, doing this metabolic health, I would talk to them about, okay, well, how about we do this, okay? But this particular lady that I'm thinking about, she's probably in her mid-60s, and she has, she's diabetic, she has high blood pressure, she's got type 2 diabetes, she's got a lot of things going on, that these are all reversible conditions. We've talked about it. But whatever I say, there is resistance. There is resistance. It's no, I can't do that, I can't do this, no. But then there will be also a discussion about, but what does my cholesterol say? What's happening? So I would try to explain, well, yes, but if you do this, then we might be able to improve things further. But so it's very difficult, because I feel that there isn't anywhere else for me to go because of this resistance. And so the issue is that it frustrates me, because I feel that I cannot, there is a lot of help that I can provide, but this person is very resistant. So in your capacity as a life coach, you've dealt with this. Why is this happening, and what can I do to help her, and what can I do to help myself?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that when someone is resisting something from the outside, it's because that thing that is coming to them, whether it is a good advice or bad advice, it doesn't matter. The thing that is coming towards me is a threat.
Right.
It's a threat. So let's say someone who is already formed an identity of a person who is sick or has those problems, or he has some gain.
Yes.
Some gain. And the thing is some of the gains that we have for being sick or being fat or being unhealthy in any way is not conscious. It's not a conscious.
Mostly it's not, isn't it?
Yeah,
most
it's not
people
conscious.
aren't aware of it.
It's that they're not aware of the fact that being fat is something that gives them something.
Yes. Or being unwell, can also.
Yes. We're not aware. I mean, it requires awareness and mindfulness and working on yourself to realize that, well, you're actually benefiting from that situation. This is why you're not changing it. So first, it's good to understand that a person who's resisting something, the resistance is because they're afraid of adopting it, because
whatever the change is.
Yes. That's why, we work on change management, because you need to manage change. It's not easy to make change.
Yes.
The subconscious actually don't like changes, so they just keep things. They've adopted strategies to protect
themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So having type 2 diabetes is a protection mechanism.
Yes.
In some way. Okay?
Right.
So this is the first thing you need to understand. So this person has a high cortisol because he's totally afraid of your offer.
Yes. Okay. That's so interesting. And even though this the things that I am suggesting are simple things. For that person, it is
It's
highly
a threat.
stressful.
It is a very stressful thing.
Right.
It's the changing is a threat for
Yes,
me. Now,
yes.
something in my life is going to be out of balance if I will change this thing.
Right. Okay.
This is one. The second thing that I think is very, very important to pay attention is not to change the roles. Now, we have that in psychology, that we say that at one stage the person is basically abusing the therapist with
Right.
his depression,
Right.
with this oh poor me, and then they change role where the coach, the therapist, the psychologist, the person who's helping you is trying to convince you that no, your life is really, really good. No, that is not your job. The job is for you to facilitate the change that the person takes over, and it needs to be their motivation. And I think it's easy to see it when you're talking about children, that sometimes moms or dads, they do things for their kids instead of letting them take the responsibility of what they need to do. I don't know if you've known this. I'm a teacher, so it's very easy. You see the kid did this
Assignment.
project,
Yes.
an assignment, and you say, oh my God, that's not a kid who is grade 3 has done this thing. Mom did it or dad did it. And that's not a problem. The problem is that while in this process, this kid now did not take responsibility on what he was doing. He felt helpless.
Right.
He did not develop any skills of trying and making an effort, which is exactly what we need to be strong. It's the effort. It's not the end result that matters.
Yes.
So as a doctor, I know this as a life coach, sometimes I feel like, I want to do more.
So now I've realized that you've got to kind of, I have to manage my expectations.
Exactly.
As well. Yes.
To make sure that your cortisol.
Yes, exactly. But also, I think what you've said has really given me, like, now I can feel a sense of compassion, because now I understand that this person, it's not that they're being pig-headed or anything, they are coming from a place of fear.
Exactly.
So then, and maybe, so is that it then? I mean, how can I facilitate that change?
Okay, there is a strategy that's really, really helpful, and it's a strategy that puts a whole, I mean, she created a shield.
Yes.
And this shield, that's a problem with those shields for all of us, by the way. You create a shield to keep pain away, but you also keep the light away.
Yes.
So you also keep all the good things away, because it's a shield, it's a wall.
Yes.
And it's a Jim Rohn's quote. He says, the walls we build around our heart to keep darkness away also keeps the light away. And I think it's easy to imagine that this person put a shield, and this shield is because for some reason he thinks that protects him.
Yes.
And a good way of making a tiny hole in the shield that maybe they will consider other things is basically to ask them, like, okay, so are you going to continue like this for 10 years? Can you imagine what's
like how would your life
be in 5 years
if you don't
10?
make a change?
Yes.
Yes.
So are you going to accept that this is
the way life is?
This life is for the next 10 years, and I want you to understand that the answer doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, answering you
Yes.
doesn't matter.
So it is me asking that question that then plants a little seed.
Exactly. That basically says, now if you ask a question, the brain holds the search for the answers no matter what, even if the person did not answer. So even if the person says, yeah, it's okay, I'm happy for it for another 10 years, still the brain is going to process that question and say, oh, okay, no, that's going to be.
And there is a possibility that maybe even 10 years down the line that little spark will.
Well, I don't think it's going to take 10 years, because all it needs, when you create a hole, all it needs is to meet someone that says something along the lines.
Same. Okay, so that just
And then it grow the hole that you
right,
created
it reinforces that
exactly.
right.
It doesn't
okay.
need to be. It could be they've seen a movie about regrets, and they, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
yes.
It doesn't have to be exact same things, but it has to be anything about not changing, and is it good for me, not good for me. Doesn't matter. They see a movie, they meet someone says something, they told them a story about someone else. Doesn't matter. If it sits in the same area, then that hole grows.
Right.
And when this hole grows, light can come in.
Yes. And that's when change can happen.
Exactly. And they need enough light. And you this light, I call it, I mean, I know it sounds symbolic for all of you, but this light is a hope.
Yes.
That, okay,
something
maybe,
could be better.
Yeah, maybe nothing's gonna happen to me if I'll stop eating this thing, or nothing's gonna happen to me if I'll add more meat into. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's It's just the second the brain starts playing with this option, and it's like, oh, okay, that's an option. So that's the only thing we can do
is to ask that question. And just while talking to you now, Ronit, just also, we all have, I know, if there's a new, I mean, particularly in this path that we've taken, there are so many new ideas.
Exactly.
And I feel that resistance. So now for me, I feel that I just need to ask myself, what
am I afraid of?
And hopefully that will make it easier.
And I actually have a wonderful example for this thing, because I started my journey just doing the ketogenic diet, and then several years after, I mean, throughout the whole time I heard about fasting, and it was like,
yes,
no way.
Yeah.
And about 4 years later, I think I saw it again and again, and I think that's exactly what happened to me.
Right.
Because someone was talking about it, I heard someone saying, and I was like, no, I'm gonna die. Like, seriously, I had this resistance to, no, I'm against fasting. And I want you to know that on Atonement Day, there's a 24-hour fasting, and for years I said,
no way,
and basically resisted the idea that the fasting is without even drinking.
Right.
So for me, it was like, you have to drink, and all those things. And so I think it's exactly what happened. It's this, whatever this shield is, a fear, resistance is this shield that we create, that we think that that's dangerous for us. And then the second I open myself to it, it's like, okay, let's see if I'll die.
Yes.
if I'm not going to eat 16 hours. Yeah. I was like, this is how I started.
Yeah. And Ronit is a master faster.
But the thing is this, if you asked me back then, I definitely had that shield.
Yes. So thank you, Ronit. That's very useful. And I hope that you have benefited from that as well, because I think understanding ourselves, understanding others, and why some people make choices that you might not necessarily fit in with what they should or shouldn't be doing. We all have those. But so thank you. So if you enjoyed our chat and would like to hear more, then please like this video, this YouTube, subscribe and share it with anybody that might be interested. Bye.
Thank you.